Welcome to the Building Newfoundland and Labrador podcast, dedicated to exploring the interesting journeys of the people in the provincial construction industry. Presented by the Newfoundland and Labrador Construction Association, produced by Gale Force Winds. Join us as we chat with the inspirational individuals that ensure the continued growth of the construction industry and the province of Newfoundland and Labrador.
And welcome to the Building Newfoundland and Labrador podcast. I'm Alan Dale. With me as always, my good buddy Jerry Carew. I can tell you what a great time we're having on day one of the conference. Today is all focused around women in the construction industry, and the theme is we are stronger together. And I want to tell you, the conversations that we've been in prove that we are stronger together. Lisa, I can't wait to talk to you about what you do and your connection with the NLCA. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everybody. So my name is Lisa Lovelady, and I'm with Academy Canada, and we are a career college, and we do a lot of training and lots of different programs,
Right.
including trades, construction trades, but also business, healthcare, a whole bunch of different types of programs. So so that's sort of, I always kind of go into the work that I do because I'm so driven by a passion to educate, a passion to help as many people as we can reach their career goals, and also make connections to employers to help people find, the skilled employees that they need so we can grow the economy. And I'd like to be able to get that done here in Newfoundland and Labrador as much as possible, because I think this province deserves the very best.
Right.
And I think we have a lot of potential that has not been met yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Before you got into this role, how did you find yourself there?
Yeah. So before I got into this role, I went to Memorial University for school, and I actually did a science degree. And all of my summer jobs were involved with kids. And I worked at Salmon Air Nature Park, and I worked at Botanical Garden, and I did science camp. Science camp was fun too. And so that sort of led me into, well, maybe I should try teaching, because, I love science, I love kids, I love blowing things up safely. So yeah, that's what I did. And so I went to teacher school, did my degree on another one, and I value adventure. Personally, for me, the answer is always yes. So if someone asks me something, if there's an opportunity to be had, I'm probably going to accept it. And so what happened there was an opportunity came to do my internship at Harlow in the UK. Memorial has a campus there. So I did that, and the school offered me a job. Okay. And I wanted to get right into the nuts and bolts of teaching. If I stayed in Newfoundland and Labrador, I would have been looking at maybe 10 years of substituting, and I didn't know if I had the stamina to do that. I didn't know if that was really, it didn't excite me. But the thought of going into a full-time permanent teaching position and have my own class and really build a foundation within a school and in a different country, I was all for it. So I was in my mid-20s, moved to England by myself, had a really supportive school that I went to, and actually I'm still friends with a lot of the folks I worked with there to this day. I spent 5 years there, but I was there just August, actually. We hung out again with some of our friends from there. Forever friends, for sure. So it was a life-changing, life-shaping experience.
Because you said yes.
Yeah. I said yes. Oh, I said yes to so many things. You want to go rock climbing, Lisa? Sure. So from that one experience, actually it was when I was here in Newfoundland, and went to Walnut's local climbing gym, picked up climbing shoes and a harness. My friends took me to Flat Rock, did some rock climbing when the sun was setting, humpback whales were breaching, and I was hooked. That was 22 years ago. I'm still climbing. Wow. I've been to Europe, I've climbed different places around the world, literally been to the top of mountains because of it. Yeah, when you say yes, and you just try,
you never know.
It's amazing the things that you can do, and there's always so much to look forward to, and it really energizes me personally. That's sort of something I really value. And now, my kids are excellent climbers as well. Actually, my 14-year-old is better at it than I am, and she's coaching me now.
Wow.
Lisa, take us through the jump from Harlow to Academy
Canada.
Academy Canada.
He lives in PEI.
Yeah, that's okay. And you know what? One of my goals is that we're going to be all over Canada for real, not limit it more just to Newfoundland and Labrador.
Is that
so
right?
that's cool, yeah. So that's a little challenge there for me that I'm also saying yes to. So what happened? So I was teaching in Harlow, and I was doing that. It was the 5-year mark. My husband, who I met and married over there, he really wanted to move to Canada. And my heart Canada's always been home in my heart, although I love the UK. So that was it. So we both quit our jobs, just quit our jobs, sold our house, moved here. And the first decision was, where are we going to go? Are we going to go to Newfoundland? I guess you kind of know the answer because here we are. But another contender was, are we going to go to where the mountains are? Are we going to go to Alberta? Are we going to go to BC? Because the mountain climbing thing is really important to us. And we went to Newfoundland and Labrador because that's where my family is, because relationships are important too. And it was really hard leaving my husband's family in the UK. So I think that helped us stick it out here those first few hard years, because we had, my family is now all of our family, Family's important. So I quit my job, so I needed to work. And the substitute thing was starting to happen in the K-12 system. And there was a job advertisement for Academy Canada. I knew nothing about private training. So I thought, well, I'll give it a whirl. And I met James Loader, and he hired me for a 3-month position in student support. And I thought, well, I'll give it a whirl and just see, because I'm only substituting now. I can always go back into that. And that was 17 years ago. And now I'm the vice president academic of the company. Yeah,
James is the principal and founder. Was he the founder of the company as well?
He's not a founder. At the time, he was a principal.
Yeah.
He did become an owner and a director. And he was my mentor, among others. I've had a lot of really good mentors.
And I know James is very heavily involved in the NLCA.
Absolutely.
It has been for many, many, many years.
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. So he's enjoying his retirement now, and he's cheering us all on from the sidelines for sure. I was just in touch with him yesterday. Yeah.
So Lisa, draw us the connection between Academy Canada and the NLCA.
Well, the connection, as you referenced, it does now happily go back for quite a few years now. So we at Academy Canada value the work that the NLCA does. And we very much consider the worth of what we do as the service we can provide to employers. And since we provide so many programs in the construction trades, but also in the office side of things as well, we feel an accountability to employers, and we need to make connections with employers, and the NLCA has allowed us to do that. And if you're going to be in an association, we value really digging in and helping out and try to grow it to help it become the best association it can be. And I'm honored to be helping out with that as well.
Fantastic.
Oh, well, Lisa, absolutely. The need for industry and academia to work closely together so that you're meeting their needs and expectations and they're explaining to you what the future might look like of work for them.
Yeah.
So vital, that conversation. And you're right in the middle of it. It must be amazing.
It's very energizing. It's really exciting. And for me, I feel so pleased when an employer calls me and say, we're looking to hire a certain number of people. Do you offer programming in this? How many students do you have in the program right now? That's what I love, is that kind of engagement. I love it when employers feel comfortable enough to actually reach out and ask, because I'll tell them. Right, I'll let you know. And also, if you ask, I'll probably ask you to help me generate awareness about the need for these good paying jobs and to help energize people who maybe weren't thinking about going to school, but maybe now I will go to school because I know that there's these opportunities.
Right.
A lot of times in the general public, people don't realize just how many good opportunities there are out there.
Yeah.
So it's all sort of connected.
Lisa, today is all about women in construction, right? And opportunities that exist, challenges that exist as well, right? Now you're on the front line of this. You're talking to people that are just starting their careers, just being educated to go into the workforce. Tell me how important today's conversations were to better prepare you to go back into those front lines again and talk to young women and underrepresented groups that might find themselves in the construction industry.
Yes, and that's something that is of real importance to me, not only because I am a woman, but I also see the proportion of people who identify as female, non-binary is significantly lower in construction trades, in the workforce, and it's also reflected in Academy Canada.
Yeah.
And I want to work with my team, to work with employers and all the great associations that are out there that help support women in trades, to try to figure out how can we help people feel more comfortable to follow that dream of working in the trades, building things with your hands, seeing the physical results of what you've done. But it is daunting for a lot of women. And even being, like for me, like I spent time as a vice principal of our trade school. And that was a bit of a leap for me as well, to go into a school where there were so many, you know, males working in the trades, kind of rough and ready. And here I am, just a small woman.
Yeah.
But you know what? I had a lot to offer because I had all this teaching experience, and I wanted to help our journey person instructors make that transition from being rock star journey person on the job site to being a rock star instructor in front of that classroom. So for me, it's always the goal, and that helps me become brave and rise above my doubts and insecurities. So if we can do that to help people who may have, you know, been interested to try out the trades but kind of go, oh, I don't know if it's really for me, to kind of get that goal there in front of you so you can rise above the doubt and go for it.
I love the way you articulated that, rising above doubts and insecurities. There's going to be a lot of young women watching this that have doubts and insecurities. The fact that you're willing to actually articulate the fact that you had doubts and insecurities, and we all still do, no matter male or female.
Right, it's a human thing.
It is. So thank you for articulating that.
No problem.
Lisa, you've been in the academic world for a while, specifically in the area of skills trades and things like that. You must have some great success stories to talk about.
Yeah. My mind goes immediately to our students and the students' success as well. But you know, there's also people who've come to work for us. Like, we've employed a lot of people too, and we've really enjoyed mentoring and fostering their success. But yeah, the best stuff is just when you hear the success stories about people who say, you know, I never thought I could do it, and here I am working in this amazing job, making a good wage, been able to buy my mom a car that she's always wanted. And just those things of, I never thought I could do it, but now I'm getting it done, you know? And to even be a small part of that, because ultimately, we don't provide our students an education, really. Like, the students have to work really hard and earn it. And so really it is on them. Like, they make these opportunities happen through their hard work. So we're just happy to be a part of it and to be, you know, cheering them on and providing these opportunities that they take advantage of. Yeah.
But believing in somebody and encouraging somebody, big part of it, right?
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you guys do that.
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure. And,
Right.
and we want to have a bit of fun along the way too, you know. It's not all a tough grind. You know, you need to take some time out to have that balance and you know, have a bit of fun and so we like having our social events at the school, and it's so nice to be back on site now where we can start doing more of those fun things and just relax and have a laugh and have a little bit of fun along the way.
Yeah, I love it when I hear stories about government, industry, and academia all working together. And that's exactly what we're describing here. You've got an association here with government support, and I spoke with ministers of government today, and now we have academia in the conversation. When you have that three groups of people working together, you're bound to get success.
Yeah, well, when people start talking to each other from these different areas, we kind of get out of our silos and talk about what the issues are, what are the barriers, and sometimes it can be a case of we didn't realize that that was a barrier, or maybe there's a different way, and to figure it out. And sometimes for our province, for Newfoundland and Labrador, watching what other places, other jurisdictions have done is good to keep an eye on it, but we have to also be bold and figure out our own unique solutions to make sure that employers are getting the skilled workers that they need so we can build our economy and get on. You know, it's not always about copying what other people are doing. It's about looking at what it is that we have and how can we find a way to break through and get to the next level so we can all be successful.
And Lisa, breaking through, you are in Newfoundland and Labrador. There's so many good things happening. I mean, there is a lot of great opportunity on the horizon and in the moment. And I often ask guests that come from Newfoundland that are doing great things, what's the secret sauce here? What is this recipe for success in Newfoundland? Because it's happening right here, right now.
I think a lot of it comes down to relationships, because it's a given. You have to have the skills. You have to put the work in. You have to make sure, that you know what you're doing and you've got that good foundation. But then you got to get outside of your own self a little bit, be brave, and make those connections. We're known for being friendly and, and easy to talk to. And so kind of lean on that a little bit to make those connections, because I think it's through those relationships where you build trust, so then you can build partnerships, and then together we rise. It's all working together. And people can be a little shy, even for Newfoundland and Labrador. We can be a little shy about just getting out there and just getting to know people. So I think that what we do naturally well is connect with people. So let's just, keep doing that and build and grow together.
Together we rise. It often comes up in conversations that we have on this podcast, and that is, it's so true that a rising tide
lifts all boats.
Does it not?
Yeah, it does.
Right, and what you're doing in Academy Canada, preparing these students to enter into the workforce, I'm sure encouraging them out of the gate and maybe even beyond.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
reaching back and asking for, right?
We do.
Encouraging them beyond. Together with the Newfoundland and Labrador Construction Association, the industry writ large, we're making this province a better place.
And that's what it's about. That's where the satisfaction comes from.
Right.
I think what you're doing is providing hope. Opportunities exist, and you're matching the people through hope. And what a great thing you're doing with your career and the school, and I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here, and thanks for giving me this opportunity to speak and sort of articulate some of those things that are giving me the energy to get up and take on the day and get out there. Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, what another wonderful conversation on the Building Newfoundland and Labrador podcast. And best way to summarize it is just say yes.
Just say yes.
Thank you for tuning in to the Building Newfoundland and Labrador podcast, presented by the Newfoundland and Labrador Construction Association, produced by Gale Force Winds.